Ding, 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 ding. We're going on a trip. Our favorite rocket ship. Something to the sky. Little Einstein. That song's been in my head. I don't know why. But hi there. Welcome back to the Crossroads. I've been thinking about love lately. Like a lot. It's kind of pissing me off a little bit. um I'm dissociating like hard. Am I ready to like deliver this message? I don't know. I'm gonna push through it. So I took my notes as usual. Um, so yeah, love. I've been thinking about love. Yeah, what is happening? Um, mm, I'm drinking my cereal milk. That's what I call Ensure. Nobody can convince me that this isn't like it just tastes like the leftover. And I'm making it sound gross, but I actually like that part. Like after you're done eating cereal, and then you drink the milk after, like after the cereal's been sitting in there. It's very peculiar taste and specific. I don't know. I guess it's an acquired taste. Like either you hate it or you love it. Because I know it sounds gross how I'm describing it. I need to focus. So love, thinking about love a lot. Um, there's been a lot of like love readings lately for the collective, and I'm like, ah. And it's like by some of my favorite people, and they're like, I know, you don't want to hear about it. And I'm like, no, no, I don't. No, man. Um, so I'm going to talk about this card in a little bit. Air Guardian, shift your perspective, is what the message says. And I'm using my Angels and Ancestors Oracle deck. Artwork by wow. Artwork by Lily Moises. Uh, Oracle deck by Kyle Gray. Really, really pretty deck. My decks have been talking a lot at me lately for like the past few days. First deck that like screamed at me was my Starseed Oracle deck, and then I dreamt about my Moonology Oracle deck, and that deck pisses me off so much. Like the guidebook, so I tend to read that one intuitively. Because I really need to soften like the guidebook messages if ever I feel, because I'm not really like an astrology person. So like the whole new moon in Virgo, I'm like, it's all Greek to me. What to the fuck is new moon in Virgo? What is that? So like I'll kind of go off of the symbols. I'll go off of like what I kind of superficially know about, the signs. And then what I'm like feeling that I get like from a certain moon, because there's different types of moons in that moonology deck. There's new moon, there's full moon, there's waning moon, there's super moons. And I was like, what is a super moon? Okay. So I dreamt about that one, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna listen to it. Um it's just that the guidebook, it's so and I know like no one's putting a gun to my head to like consider every single thing like in that guidebook, but like when you read through it, it's kind of overwhelming. It's like questions here, advice here, affirmation sentences, like wait a second. um and then the wisdom of the oracle deck I used the other night, like combined with my wild mystic deck. um I'm still waiting on one of my other decks that I really want to show you guys. Again, it's my African Oracle deck, and that's a deck with teeth. With teeth. A lot of love in it. But it is not a gentle deck. It is not for the faint of heart. And my heart is quite faint. So, like, I when I use that one, I'm like, Spirit, I'm gonna really need you to hold my hand through this one. I don't know why I do it to myself. It's because I know I need it sometimes. I know I do. But this one is so warm. It's so lovely. It's so nice. And there's a card in here that actually has this image, because you know how sometimes, like, on the front of the deck there's like there's like a card usually inside that has this image, and I think this one is like Animal Guardian. So warm. It makes this is a powerful deck. Like, it makes me feel things. And this was the deck that I started using when I started, like, intuitively um like I was able to start, like I could sit somewhere and I could tell, like, what direction I was facing just intuitively. I don't know, it was a thing that I started to sort of naturally do. I don't know where it came from or why I even started doing it. I don't know. I was at a time too where I was, like, really trying to refine my inner compass, and I guess it came out in a really literal way. Um, I don't know. It was crazy. I really kind of liked playing around with that, like sharpening that kind of psychic sense, because I was, like, pretty on point. Like, I would have moments where I'd be like, I want to say south, but I'm feeling north, maybe a little bit more northwest. And then I'd look at the compass on my phone and it'd be northwest. Anyway, very fun. And that's usually how it starts. It's like when you know you can kind of do like a little party trick that's kind of spiritual. And you're like, oh, how cool. But, like, usually there's always a deeper meaning behind it. It's like, okay, now that you got the excitement out and the cool part's over, like, what can you actually use this for? Or what is the like, why did you even start? Why was this a thing? Like, why did it come up? Am I stalling? Oh man. All right. So yeah, love. And I'm not thinking about it like in a dreamy way. Like, obviously I've been fantasizing. Everyone fantasizes, especially the sensitives. I um but no, not like in a dreamy way. Like, the person or the figure that I have in mind is not like a fantasy person. It's someone that I would like to have, like, kind of challenge me in a healthy way, in a gentle way, in a way that, like, meets my capacity, and someone I can regulate with, and all the nice stuff. But, like, the way that I've been imagining love lately is it's gotten a little too real and like, uncomfortable. Uh, and I wrote this down the other night, and I was like, I don't like this, but this is really honest. So I'm just gonna go with the flow. I was like, what if I'm just becoming a woman who wants to mind her fucking business? Like, what if I don't really want to look for love? Like, I'm reaching the point where I'm, like, kind of tired. Like, I want it, but I'm like, okay. I threw my hands in the air and say, like, I don't. Okay, all right, fuck it. Um, like, what if I'm someone who, like, okay, I don't go looking for love, but I'm also becoming, like, in the same breath, I'm becoming someone who can at the very least recognize it if it does come. And then right after that thought, there was a much quieter one, a much more unsettling question that crept in. And that question was, what if it doesn't? What if it doesn't come? Like, what if I do learn how to hold myself? I learn the regulation. I learn how to not abandon myself. I learn how to build a life that actually feels good. And then still nobody steps forward. And nobody comes along and says that's the one. That's my little thingy. That's the one that I want to think with, and I want to sleep beside, and I want to build something with her. What if it just doesn't show up? And I wanted to get down on myself the way I usually do once, when that fear hits, because I want to be like, oh my god, it's like that's dramatic. That's kind of pathetic, but it's not though. It's actually a really human question. It's a very honest question. It's a very honest feeling. Um, and I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who feels like that. I can't be the only one who feels like that. I have to really remind myself of that because it's a little narcissistic, and not in the way you think, but like sometimes I think I'm a special case. Like when I have certain fears, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not the exception. And sometimes I think I am, especially when it comes to really negative things about me. I'm like, no, but like my depression is a different breed. Like my anger is a different breed. Like ain't nobody like me. Like no, please stop. Sit down. Be humble. um, and I think those are my guides reminding me of that. But and then here's the thing, like I don't feel that there's anything really missing inside of me. Not like before. Like I don't think there's anything particularly wrong with me in any anymore. Like it's and that's a good thing, right? Like okay, you don't I don't feel like there's a missing piece. I don't know how else to say it. Like I'm not trying to earn love the way I used to try to earn it. Some parts of this journey still feel effortful, and I think that's normal. But it just something's hitting different, and it feels good that it's hitting different. It's a little scary. It's a little foreign. I'm like waiting for the other shoe to drop. um, but like I'm not in the process of like trying to fix myself into being chosen, and that feels kind of wrong sometimes. Like it feel like that absence of like, well, I need to improve. I need to sharpen this part of my personality, and I like it's like I'm starting to get like over it and be like, I don't really give it. I don't care to keep doing that. It's exhausting, and there's no point. And again, maybe that's a good thing. It just feels weird. It feels wrong. Like I need to be vigilant or working on something. And don't get me wrong, it's not like obviously like I want to I don't want to be this rageful piece of shit like at my partner. So definitely I'm that's something that I reflect on like okay, my temper, my my trauma, the shadow work, okay. But like fixing myself like oh, I'm too much, I'm too childlike, I'm too I overthink, and I like it's the way that I express myself. They're gonna think that I'm annoying. Like no, no. When it comes to like personality, Like, I don't give a shit about like trying to fix that or twist myself anymore. When it comes to things that are a bit more compulsive, then yeah, I want to work on that still, but I hope you understand the difference. What I'm trying to say. Fuck. Um, but yeah, like there's, I do still feel that thing inside lately that's like, okay, what if I do everything right and the love that I do desire doesn't come? Excuse me. And for a second, my mind tries to like solve that question by saying, well, then maybe I should just stop wanting it. Just stop wanting love. Stop stop wanting it. But that's impossible. That is impossible. There is no, and I like almost broke my brain trying to do that. I was like, but there has to be a way. You know, it's hello, it's called detachment. Like I need to detach, so that means I have to just stop wanting the thing. It doesn't work like that. And it oh my god, it like pissed me off so badly. Because that's not detachment, that's protection. Like that's defense mode. You know what I mean? That's me trying to avoid the feeling of disappointment. Because the truth is that wanting love and wanting to be seen and be held and be met is not a flaw. And I used to think that it was until very recently. I was like, that's immature. How can you be trying to heal or like be getting better, but you still want love? And then when I asked it out loud, I was like, that's silly. Of course you still do. Like you're not being immature. That's not you having attachment issues. That's human. And oh, being human. There's something about it that really bothers me, and I think it always kind of has on some level. Just being human. I've always felt like a little alien, and I've always caught myself like looking at other people, like trying to learn how to human, especially small talk. Like when it comes to socialization, and socialization is a scam to me. Like definitely socialize, but like the way that we're conditioned to do it, the way that we're conditioned to like constantly orient to other humans, that was never me naturally. That was never who I naturally was. I think I talked about this before. Like the way I always kind of was at my core was, well, I want to orient first to um, spirit and nature, and animals and art, and music and stories, and then intermittently other humans. But first, I want to like land in myself. And after a while, like I feel like I was trained to be scared of that or to feel guilty for wanting to land in myself first. And I'm realizing, well, fuck that. I like landing in me first. It feels kind of good, actually. But the sadness that comes with not having that love yet sometimes, especially after like abuse or, relationships that were abusive or um, were just unsatisfying, that doesn't mean that something's wrong with you or with me. It just means that I'm open, I am porous. And so yeah, people love to say like don't be attached to romance, but nobody says that about friendships or about your purpose. People don't say detach from your purpose. I mean, some of them do, but like not the same way that like how they talk about romance. They don't really say the same thing about your career. No one says, like, don't want that too much when it comes to those other things, but when it comes to love, it feels like, the energy is like pussyfooting. So I don't know, I feel like, at least in my mind, I'm like, why am I treating love like it's something that I'm supposed to just detach from? And so I realized in shifting my perception, um, I learned to reframe the fear, the fear coming in the form of that question, which was, how do I stop wanting love? So instead, it's, how do I want it without abandoning myself when it's not here yet? When I hit, because I am going to hit those moments. I'm going to have good days. I'm going to have bad days. I'm going to be like, shit, I love being with myself. And then I'm probably going to have days where I'm like, I feel like I'm enjoying so much, like, being with myself, that I would like to share it with someone else. Granted, some days I'm like, I would rather just have a puppy or a goldfish than just talk to them. Yeah, I would like that too. But then, even when I imagine that, I'm like, I would like to then share eventually that goldfish and that puppy with a really cool person who sometimes, who chooses me. Yeah. Trying to follow, trying to make this as coherent as possible. So, and then I wrote, after, reframing the question, I was like, okay, because this is where things can go kind of sideways. Not in the wanting love, but in what we do in the absence of that love, until it comes, if it comes, because that's also a reality. So the real work is to be able to say, yeah, I want that, and I don't have it right now, and both of those things are allowed to exist, holding multiple truths at once. So without shame, without urgency, without turning it into, there must be something wrong with me, because that's usually my conclusion. And then I had to sit with something even a little bit more disturbing. Like I said, there's no guarantee that it's going to come at all. That kind of love. There is no guarantee. No matter how many oracle peoples will be like, you're getting that thing. You know that you are. Yeah, I know you can feel it coming. Like, I love y'all, but no. Stop it. Please stop that feeding that illusion. Or at least I want to stop feeding that illusion. I want to stop feeding that loop. Like, I'll listen to the other parts of the message, but I'm realizing that with some of the readers that I admire, I'm almost doing more work, like having to translate their message for myself, because there's certain parts, especially the love parts, where I'm like, please don't, like that, especially to a nervous system that doesn't even feel safe sometimes hearing certain statements. Hearing something said like that with such conviction doesn't actually feel reassuring. You're going to get that love. Like, please no. Because what if I don't? And I no longer want to hold that question with that much fear anymore. Like, I actually want to look at it like, okay, so then what if it doesn't? what do we do about that? How do we continue to hold ourselves without letting that sadness own us? I'm not going to keep lying to myself. But also, um, that it didn't come is rarely that simple, and I want you to just follow me. Sometimes it means it didn't come yet. It didn't come in a form that actually met me, or it came and I chose to not settle just because I was like, well, there's some parts of this that I like, so maybe I should be grateful, well, or sometimes it's just timing. Um, it's serendipity. It's the people, the place, all of those things just maybe didn't happen to line up yet. So there's many factors that go into love not being here yet, or the kind of love that you want not being here just yet. Because not love isn't just about being deserving. It's about timing, proximity, mutual readiness, because how many times have we realized, like, oh yeah, it did come, but we grew apart, or right person, wrong time, you know? And so, and ultimately, yeah, one of those factors is also sometimes just a little bit of randomness. And for me, the randomness is the word that I use, serendipity, which is divine randomness to me. Um, and I hate that part. I'm not even going to pretend that I don't. I don't like that I sometimes don't have control over those little things, and because I don't have control over those little things, that divine randomness, that means that I'm going to have to go out and meet serendipity. Meaning, yeah, put yourself out there, go for a fucking walk, go touch some grass, go to a library, smile at a little somebody, just hey, hello, whatever, like, let those little moments happen. Be brave. Um, and in thinking about all of this, and I didn't like it again, because this is just because the insight is coming to me doesn't mean that it's embodied yet, doesn't mean that I trust it all the way yet. This is just insight that I'm sharing that's coming to me now, and I'm learning what am I going to do with it? Okay. So what shifted for me was I'm no longer trying to build myself in order to get love. Remember, because that's what I was kind of doing before. Like, what do I fix about me to make me more lovable? Like, that's not a thing. For some people, yeah. Some people want you to like curate yourself, or like to suffer in silence, and that's a whole nother story though. But I'm trying to build myself so that if love comes, I don't have to shapeshift in order to keep it. I'm done with that. Um, because I already know the alternative, like I talked about. It's getting something sooner and then having to ignore yourself to stay. Knowing that you're not ready, or the other person isn't ready, and my body's already telling me, no, we're not going to do that again. We're not going back there. So now I'm in the space of, okay, I won't abandon myself, even if that means I have to be alone a little bit longer. But there's a sadness in that, and I think that that's normal. There should be sadness. I think sadness is a good signal. I don't think that it's desperation. I think it's a tenderness that is not meant to go offline, because why would you want that? Because if it goes offline, then you're gonna forget that that's what you wanted this whole time, and you don't want to forget. You don't want to suppress. And the example that I came up with that I wrote was, okay, follow me, because my I speak in metaphors. So okay, so um, it's like missing somebody, like a friend who's like far away, overseas, whatever, and you can feel, damn, I wish they were here with me right now. And but you still have the capacity to receive them when they actually arrive. Talk amongst yourselves. Leave that there. So I'm learning something new, and learning new things sometimes brings out the toddler in me, and I get angry and scared and deeply frustrated because learning new things obviously don't always make sense to me at first. And like I said, I'm trying to hold all at once, that I can be sad that something isn't here yet, and also be ready for when it comes at the same time. Because that's the part that wasn't making sense to me. I was like, how can I be sad but also be preparing for when something comes? Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, how is that possible? Does not compute. Again, I thought that I was just kind of broken in the brain for that. But I realized that readiness, okay, follow me. It's one of my isms that I came up with. Readiness doesn't mean being emotionless. It doesn't mean not wanting anything. I'm over here trying to, like, oh, Nirvana, want for nothing. Like, that girl, okay, that philosophy doesn't work for you. It rarely works for anybody, okay? It means that if it shows up, I'm not going to distort myself to keep it. I don't have to do very much to keep it. I just have to keep showing up as myself. And attuning to myself and attuning to my person in a respectful way. That's about as far as it goes. And my feelings are big. And I hate it. I fucking hate it. I really do. I don't like how big they feel. They feel so big that sometimes I can physically see them. And they've always been big since I was a little girl. And I had no elders, no guides, at least in the physical realm, to help me manage that. And so for a long time, I thought that meant that, again, that there was something wrong with me, like I was just too much, or I was pathetic or embarrassing. It was even gross for me to admit that, I still feel sad, because I was like, well, that doesn't mean that I'm not healing then. That means that I'm not progressing. Jesus, I'm mean to myself. Um, but I'm learning. I'm trying to be kinder. I'm catching it a little quicker nowadays, the meanness, and I'm like, oh, don't say that. So it's not the longing that's the problem. It's the shame that I attached to the longing. A lot of shame. I don't know if you guys have ever watched Human Resources, is that kind of spin-off from Big Mouth, the shame monster. Well, he exists in both. Yeah. Or the shame wizard. There we go. It's hormone monster, shame wizard. There we go. Um, and that part of me, that shame part, started trying to tell me things like don't want too much, don't feel too deeply, don't need too openly. Because I was met with a lot of ick, especially from some of the people who were really close to me, really influential people that I looked up to, my own parents. Um, so now when I feel something real, my body tries to shut it down. But I am starting to shift that. So instead of, okay, why do I feel like this? I'm learning to say, okay, yeah, this matters to me deeply. And of course, it's going to hurt sometimes. So I'm holding on to the same feeling, but I'm changing my relationship with that feeling. We're switching up the dynamic a little bit. We're not so toxic anymore, you know? And honestly, that kind of depth, reaching that, that recognizing that bigness inside of myself, that's not a liability. It's the part of me that is going to recognize when that real love comes. It's kind of like the mind fuck, or like the paradox. Like I said, it's not that you're not supposed to turn it off, because people like the sensitives, the rainbow children, the indigos, the beep 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 beep, the highly sensitive, whatever. Um, we know that we don't just fall for anything. Like, we've been trained to fall for anything, but like we always had that gut feeling like something is wrong here. Something is not right. I don't know if you guys ever watched Madeline. Miss Clavel would wake up in the middle of the night and she knew her girls were up to something, or that Madeline was up to something, and she would go, something is not right. So I'm not trying to stop wanting love anymore. Not like that. I'm just learning to stop treating that desire like it's a problem, because it's not. And in the meantime, I'm not leaving myself alone anymore in that big feeling. And I think that that might be the closest thing to being ready that there is, ironically. So, I don't know. That's what I got. And maybe I'll read it really quick if I don't know, because my phone might cut off. I'm literally at like 8%. But my God. Oh, Air Guardian. Okay. See? I'm gonna go there. So, message. Change the way you think, and you will change your whole reality. The Air Guardian card represents the angels of the air element. Traditionally, air is all about thoughts, thinking, and everything that's happening in the mind. So these angels can help you to overcome any thoughts that have come back to haunt you from your past, and to see the world more clearly. They are guiding you to change the way you think about certain situations, as this could be standing between you and greatness. So when this card arises, it's an opportunity to learn about your way of thinking. You are being guided to recognize that not all you see is exactly the way you see it. Sometimes the mind can play games, and sometimes our perceptions can be wrong. If you are being challenged or feel that there's a lack of clarity and direction in your life at the moment, there's a good chance the way you're thinking or what you're focusing on has a lot to do with that reality. You are being guided to open your eyes and your mind to go beyond any limits you have set for yourself, and recognize the way that you see the world is how you will experience the world. Opportunities are moving in your direction, but they will only open up for you if you are ready to do the internal work to support them. So I think that's all I got for today. Stay blessed, stay well, stay healthy, stay tuned, stay weird, stay safe. It's weird out there, and not your kind of weird, your good kind of weird. And I will see you at the crossroads soon, my friend, hopefully. Much love. check out my Substack. Putting out a few essays about neuroscience, poetry, love, trauma, somatic healing, all that good stuff. Also going to post my Buy Me a Coffee if ever you feel called or inspired, to support. And if you would like to hit me up for any kind of free dream readings, if you got any images that stick with you or anything that's kind of sitting inside you still and you need a place to have those feelings land, you can also hit me up on my Twitter and on my Instagram.